In view of the escalating security situation in Syria, the government of India has safely evacuated 77 Indian nationals from the conflict zone. 7 Indian nationals landed in New Delhi on Saturday morning. One more flight carrying evacuated Indians is scheduled this evening. The evacuated Indians described their experience of the war in Syria and expressed gratitude to the Indian government for extending support.
अरे बहुत मदद किया हमारी पूरा देखो वहाँ से बुलाए हम वहाँ से सीरिया से लेबनान के लिए ये बस में लेके आए फ्लाइट बंद है वहाँ से सीरिया से फ्लाइट बंद है बस में लेके आए फिर यहाँ से ये लेबनान से डोहा लेके आए फ्लाइट में डोहा से इधर लेके आए अब यहाँ आपके सामने खड़े हैं आराम से
पर डे ऐसा कोई रात ना हो जो रात में हम लोग रॉकेट की आवाज़ ना सुने हो गोली बंदूक की आवाज़ ना सुने हो लेकिन हम लोग एम्बेसी को कांटेक्ट किए तो एम्बेसी हम लोग को सेफ जोन में लेकर गया कोई खतरा नहीं था बहुत सपोर्ट करा हम लोगों की एम्बेसी ने बहुत अच्छे होटल में रखा खाना अच्छे से खिलाया लोग हर चीज़ की फैसिलिटी दी पैसा से लेकर खाना तक हर चीज़ दिया उन्होंने किसी चीज़ की कमी नहीं होने दी यहाँ तक कि वहाँ इन लोगों ने टिकट भी कराया यहाँ तक 2 फ्लाइट की।
हम लोग वहाँ सीरिया में हालात ख़राब होने के बाद मतलब एम्बेसी से हम लोगों को फ़ोन आया कि मतलब आप लोग यहाँ से निकल जाइए तो फिर हम लोग उस आंखों से देखी मतलब 3-4 किलोमीटर दूर पे मतलब गोला बारूद फट रहे थे उसको देख के हालत बहुत ख़राब था उसके बाद एम्बेसी से फ़ोन आया उसके बाद हम लोगों को बेरूत शिफ्ट किया गया उसके बाद वहाँ 3 दिन रखने के बाद हम लोगों का टिकट कराया गया है टिकट करा के यहाँ लाया गया है मोदी जी के लिए हम लोग बहुत आभारी रहेंगे।
मोदी जी का बहुत थैंक है इसमें क्योंकि उनका एक स्वैग है आउट ऑफ इंडिया में वहीं भी पाकिस्तानी लोग थे वहीं लेबनान के बॉर्डर पे 36 घंटे से वेट कर रहे थे लेकिन उन लोगों का वीज़ा नहीं लग रहा था लेबनान के लिए लेकिन हम लोगों का वीज़ा जो है 5 से 6 घंटों में तो इंडियन एम्बेसी उसके बाद हम लोग को 5 स्टार होटल में रखा बढ़िया से 3-4 दिन कोई दिक्कत वाला बात नहीं है खाना पीना खिलाया उलाया मस्ती में रखा एकदम दोस्त के थोड़ा एम्बेसी के लोग थे बहुत ज़्यादा कोऑपरेट किया हमारी वहाँ पे उनको जैसा बोला सर ने बहुत हेल्प किया बस फिर हम लोग इंडिया स्टे पहुँच गए थैंक्स मोदी जी और क्या
हार्ट बीटिंग जो था एकदम अनकंट्रोल था पूरी तरीके से अब जाके लगता है सुकून का नींद आएगा आज से सब लोगों के लिए अच्छी मदद की है 75 लोग को निकालना बहुत बड़ी बात है हमारी टीम एमएससी पूरी तरीके से मतलब हम लोग जो आ रहे थे लगभग 1 किलोमीटर तक लाइन लगा हुआ था सबको आगे करते हुए हम लोगों से उन लोगों से आगे निकलवाते हुए हम लोग को पास करवाए जो 4 घंटे में लोग पास करते थे हम लोग 1 घंटे में पास हुए।
And our correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh is now joining us live from the newsroom in New Delhi. Shubhendu, 7 Indians stranded in Syria have already arrived in New Delhi today. Can we expect more to return and today, in fact, and in the next few days?
That's right, Munmun. The evacuation process had already started. These evacuees, in fact, have been brought from Lebanon, where they were earlier evacuated from Syria, about 77 of them, and now they have been evacuated to Delhi and also other parts of the country. Yes, some 7 Indians were evacuated this morning. They arrived in New Delhi. From them, we learnt about the dramatic situations, developments that are taking place in Syria in the middle of the conflict. Yet another important rescue mission of Indians by Indians taking place in Syria. Another flight is scheduled later this evening, Munmun, and the flights, these commercial flights and the evacuees coming in from Lebanon in these commercial flights will continue. Tentatively, we are told that till 1st of January, by 1st of January, all 77 of the evacuated Indians will be brought back home to New Delhi or places where they belong in the country. We learned the manner in which the Indian mission played a key role in evacuating the Indians from the conflict zone in Syria. Between Lebanon and Syria. Syria is the conflict zone, so there are no flights taking off from there. So the mission officials, in fact, accompanied the evacuated Indians in a bus to the Lebanon border. From there, the Indian mission in Lebanon facilitated their immigration process, got them tickets for Delhi. now through various transits, Doha, Dubai, and other transits. They are now being brought back to India in parts, in batches, in commercial flights. And as I mentioned, that by the beginning of next year, all evacuated Indians should be home. The mission has also given out a statement that any other Indian, there are more people who stay, who work in Syria, just as in different parts of West Asia, who feel threatened, who would like to return. The mission would be providing all possible support to them in this moment of crisis, as they have done to these 77 individuals.
Right, Shubhendu, also tell us how's the situation panning out in Syria and the larger West Asia region, with Jordan now set to host US, EU, Turkish and Arab diplomats today for high-level talks on Syria amid other developments.
Right, Munmun, we have to understand that Syria for the past decade in particular and for nearly half a century has been under a dictatorial role of the Assads, first Bashar al-Assad's father and then him for the past 20 years or so. And the fall of the regime, in fact, has left a certain power gap. We'll have to wait and watch the manner in which this gap is going to be filled and how. We've heard the rebel leader Muhammad al-Julani. He speaks of an inclusive government, an inclusive Syria where there would be equal space for all ethnicities. But we have to take it with a pinch of salt. His organization, HTS, he himself, they proscribed terrorist and terrorist organizations respectively by the West, by the US, UK and other Western powers. So we'll have to wait and watch the manner in which the new administration takes charge. For now, the rebels are taking things in control. They appear to be in charge. There are different power influences, interest and coordination that is taking place. We know Israel has been launching attacks after attacks, especially as far as the border region, the buffer region between Syria and Israel is concerned. United Nations has criticized Israel's move, saying that at a time when Syria is set to write a new history, a new future for itself, actions by Israel, the bombing, is a matter of concern. Israel, on the other hand, sees it as a certain security guarantee for itself. It has invested significantly in its conflict in Gaza. It wants to make sure that any fresh trouble from Syria does not come in. Remember, in 1974, a UN-led ceasefire between Syrian and the Israeli fighters, and this buffer zone was created, which Israel at this moment is attacking. It's saying that it is targeting the weapons ammunition of the previous Assad regime, which was against Israel. It wants to make sure that there are no remains of any influence by Assad or the ammunition of his regime. Meanwhile, there is a meeting taking place in Jordan, hugely significant. Leaders of the Arab world, of the West, United States, EU are all gathering. The larger agenda is to ensure the manner in which an inclusive administration, an inclusive Syrian-led administration could take shape in Syria. So that conversation is taking place in Jordan. Meanwhile, India, while evacuating Indian nationals, has also said it supports a sort of unity government where all stakeholders of Syria can come together and peacefully form an administration which can fulfill the aspirations of the people of Syria. But as we speak, it's a very, very crucial moment, a moment of flux of which we'll have to wait and watch what kind of new Syria comes out.
Leave it at that. Shubhendu Ghosh reporting from the New Delhi newsroom.